Hi everyone, I'm Ken Efseroff. Thanks for looking in on New to the Street. On today's show, the importance of wealth management is in full focus as we look at the do's and don'ts that make the most dollars and cents with Dallas, Texas-based Financial Gravity. Bigfoot Project Investments returns to the studio after their latest excursion in New York State, searching for Bigfoot. We will take a look at what they found in their continuous quest for the creature. And just how well do you know your indoor environment? Literally. What you don't know may surprise you and be harmful to your physical and mental wellness. Jane King gets the answers from Long Island, New York-based Health E Habitats. And we round out today's show with green cheese. That's right, one California company's recipe for fiscal success through the art of the grilled cheese. Seriously, folks, it is an art. Not all grilled cheese sandwiches are created equal, but I think we've definitely found the best. Stick around. New to the Street starts right now. Welcome back. Now, the subject of wealth management and taxes is daunting to everyone. Unless you win the lottery, balancing what you earn versus what you spend is not an easy task. But my first guest says the perception does not have to be your financial reality. Joining me for the very first time is John Pollock. He is the CEO of Dallas, Texas-based Financial Gravity Company. John, welcome to New to the Street.
Thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure. Now, since you are new to the street, we're introducing you to our viewers for the very first time. I want you to tell us all about what Financial Gravity is all about, including what I think is such a very powerful name, Financial Gravity.
Yeah, so Financial Gravity is basically a company that helps small business owners lower their personal income taxes. And a lot of people think that the CPA industry does this, and it just doesn't. They're not trained to lower taxes. There's nothing on the test about lowering taxes. Accounting is historical record keeping. It's not proactive tax planning.
People, when they hear taxes in the IRS, they're like, oh my God, but what's the truth?
It is daunting, but what we've done is we've condensed it to a group of strategies that work for the most amount of people.
And what separates you guys from other people in this space? Because trust is the biggest thing when it comes to tax preparation and wealth management.
There's really no one doing what we're doing. Typically, the financial services industry is product driven and sale driven. So they're going to sell you a mutual fund, they're going to sell you an insurance product, and then the accounting industry is typically record keeping. This is what you did last year, we put it in a box, and then we record it, and then we file it. So those two industries have really not combined very well. They have competing interests. So the way we've combined them is we use the tax code. Everything springs from the tax code. If we design your strategies and plan around what the tax code says, you're going to do better on the wealth management side, you're going to have better insurance products, and all your advice is going to be integrated.
What's the biggest perception of the tax code and biggest misperception of the tax code?
That using the tax code will increase your audit risk. Using the tax code as it's written and the way the IRS wants you to use it, there's rules. So if you want to lower your taxes and you want to write off your home office, you got to do certain things.
Now, we discussed off camera the Hero X $1 million fractional family office. What is that all about?
The family office is a business model that has been used by the uber wealthy for decades. And what it does is it allows them to pay the lowest possible fees, get the best possible products. All their advice is integrated, so their insurance is connected to their financials are connected to their taxes, and it's all connected together. So what we're doing is creating a fractional family office to bring that to everybody. And the $1 million prize is we're using the crowd to come up with better ideas to deliver this to the public. So the X Prize, the Ansari X Prize specifically, has privatized space travel. So they kind of beat NASA at their own game. NASA had a, 5-10 decade head start, and this X Prize created privatized space travel. So we're using the Hero X platform to go to the crowd to say, these are the problems that we are trying to solve. We think we know how to solve them, but we think there's better minds out there that might have a better idea on how to solve them. We want everybody to be able to have the access to integrated advice. That way they're not being sold an insurance product, sold a wealth management product, and sold a tax plan. It's all connected.
How do you simplify what financial gravity does to the average Joe on the street who's not fiscally educated like the uber wealthy and doesn't know all the tax code? How do you simplify that to bring them in, to get them to join you?
So we came up with a product called the Tax Blueprint, and it's just that. It's an architectural plan for your life. So we're going to look at how you're running your life now, how your business is getting cash flow coming in, how you're spending it, and then we're going to tweak it around the tax code to lower your personal income taxes. We save the average small business owner $21,000 per year in taxes.
You tell me where I'm going to go to Lake House for $21,000, then I'm a buyer right now.
Well, we're in New York, in some of the smaller areas you can get
Even
that.
in the Big D, you can't get that.
Yeah, that's true.
The perception of finances and tax codes and dealing with that and dealing with the IRS, it really scares off a lot of people. So you guys have that challenge as well as everything else to bring people in to show them it's not as bad as your perception makes it out to be.
Yeah, and one way we help with that is we guarantee our services. So whatever you pay us, we guarantee to double your money. So we're so confident that right now the tax code is an embarrassment of riches. There's just tons of stuff in there and nobody's using it. And what's interesting is it's very hard to get a law passed in this country. So when Congress finally gets a law passed and nobody uses it, it kind of is an ineffective way to run a country.
Well, hopefully on a different note, now that there's a different president in office, the money will flow to everybody and the corporations will come from overseas and put the money back in the United States instead of being forced to bring it overseas.
Yeah, and so the tax code it controls behavior. People don't realize this. The reason it's staying overseas is it's too expensive to bring it back.
That's a whole other argument in terms of tax code with the government and changing things to make it more consumer and corporation friendly. We'll have to bring you back for another show.
Yes, we'll definitely have to talk about that.
I want you to talk to me about Financial Gravity's different revenue streams and how you guys make that revenue, because you don't sell actual products.
No, we don't have to, because if we do the tax plan, the products are going to be chosen by the tax code.
Before I let you go, John, what should potential investors know about Financial Gravity if they're looking to park their money in the company?
Well, we're looking to grow very aggressively. We're recruiting financial advisors as distribution channels and teaching them the tools and techniques that we use to help clients. We're recruiting CPAs because they don't know how to do this either, and we're teaching them. So we're building a national network. We're building a national company.
And the last thing before we go, what do you want to tell people who are watching the interview now who are just flat out scared of having to deal with anything when it comes to wealth or the IRS or paying your taxes or growing for the future?
They don't have to be afraid. We have systems in place that make it easier. We control the controllable. The tax code is a controllable thing. We can't control what gets passed, but we can control how we use what is passed.
And the website, if people want to learn more?
Go to financialgravity.com.
John Pollock, CEO of Financial Gravity. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Our pleasure. Up next, Bigfoot is back in the house. You won't want to miss it. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Now is the time on the show we go off the beaten path, so to speak, and into the realm of the possible, searching for Bigfoot. Yes, that Bigfoot. I love the subject matter. Let's go searching for Bigfoot right now. Tom Biscardi is Bigfoot Project Investment CEO. He is joined by his son, President TJ Biscardi, and tracker Rob Price. Gentlemen, welcome back to New to the Street. Rob, welcome here for the first time.
I appreciate it.
Good to be back.
It's our pleasure, Tom. Now, for people who are just tuning in, let's give them the background on searching for Bigfoot. Please tell us the story.
I assembled the greatest team in the world. I got my son now. I passed the baton on to him. I got a great crew. Some of these guys have been with me for 11, 12 years. And we all interact the best way, and we got everybody's back covered.
You just returned from an excursion looking for the creature here in New York State. Let's talk about that, and also that your company is offering a $1 million bounty for the capture or evidence leading to the Bigfoot creature.
We're the only actual bona fide Bigfoot organization that's put on money where our mouth is, $1 million bounty to bring one of these creatures forth. We just went through an area here in upstate New York. And I got to tell you people, okay? Everybody thinks of New York as, what? It's concrete jungle. Not true. You leave 50 miles outside of Manhattan, and you've got wilderness area just like Minnesota, Michigan, California.
TJ, same type of question and direction for you, working with your dad. What's it like working with him and spending your life searching for the creature, and the reason you decided to come to the Northeast? Because I understand there's 8,000 of these creatures or so worldwide. Why New York State?
In working with my dad, that's one of the greatest opportunities anybody can have with themselves, is to work with their father. And then outside, in the woods, chasing Bigfoot, it's a dream come true. We had a few calls for northern New York up on top there, and some modified footage. It brought us up here to come check it out and see if we were going to issue that $1 million Bigfoot bounty.
If you guys catch it yourself, who gets the money? If somebody else catches it, they're going to get the money.
Well, yeah, but I've got my team here with me, and if we catch it without the help of anybody else, I'm sure my team's going to enjoy splitting it.
Rob, you are the lead tracker for Searching for Bigfoot. What goes into what your job is on a daily basis, and what goes through your mind as you're getting ready for the hunt?
Well, we start out coming to an area, get a story, report, whatnot. We come into the area, just do a little preliminary, check it out to see if there's anything really going on or not, which, you know, from time to time it happens that way. You get calls from people that seen things that nobody else saw, things like that. Sometimes you get, you know, questionable photographs. Sometimes you get all these things. Our job is to weed out those and to come onto something. We're looking for actually catching the creature, so we try to weed out all the ones that we know that are not Bigfoot related.
Tom, what makes you a believer?
I've had 7 encounters in 50 years. That's what makes me a believer.
And what goes through your mind? What went through your mind when you actually saw the creature?
Disbelief. Because, you know, I started off that, how can this be? And then next thing I find out, oh my God, there's an actual big, hairy, monkey, ape-looking thing, and I'm no more than 12 feet away from it.
Same question.
Yeah, I saw the creature, and it wasn't a guy in a monkey suit. And if you have the opportunity to visually see one of these creatures, it'll occupy your mind for the rest of your life.
I mean, there's a word for that. It's called fear.
No fear here, just the will and drive to capture it and prove it to the world.
Well, you guys are armed, so I mean, there's a little bit less fear, but if you see a creature like that in the wilderness, have you seen it, Rob?
Yes, I've seen it.
What went through your mind when you looked at it?
I was kind of in a state of disbelief because I come into this skeptical. That's the best way to come into doing something like this, because I thought it was all, you know, smoke and mirrors and things like that, but after I saw one for myself up at White Mountain, you have to rethink.
Interesting, smoke and mirrors, skepticism, and when you guys were here last time, you know, I talked about perception is reality, and people, when they first hear Bigfoot, they don't have the most positive perception. They could be like, oh, this is just another, you know, could be a sideshow like a circus from the 1920s or 1800s. However, who am I? I have not seen it, to be fair, but who am I to judge what you guys have seen? The best comparison, like I said before, is religion. If somebody wants to believe in something, they see it, let them go, be my guest. Just don't force it upon me, but that's their right. During our last interview, you discussed a hotel and museum project out west. Can you elaborate on what's going on with that?
Oh, I can, and I can also add to it that we'll be breaking ground on a 200-room facility, conference center, live theater, 200-seat live theater, and the biggest Bigfoot museum ever.
The company will be able to make money, and there's other things that you guys are working on as well?
There are. We're in contract right now on a big production company on the West Coast that have about 8 films in a can ready to go, and we're acquiring that partnership with those. And this is also the same company that will be doing the movie. That script has already been done and the cast has been cast.
What do you want people to know who are thinking about parking their money in Bigfoot project investments, who might want to take a piece of the company or get involved or just be a part of the experience?
We don't like to waste money. We like to use money in the right vein, that it's for research, it's for merchandise, it's for going the different avenues and the different angles to make our company grow and make as much money for our shareholders.
All right, if people want to learn more, the website is?
Searchingforbigfoot.com.
Okay, Tom Biscardi, TJ Biscardi, Rob Price. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us here on New to the Street. Come back and keep us up to date on what's going on, and hopefully one of these days we will go out in the field with you and search for Bigfoot and bring it back. We'll give you guys a whole half hour.
Nice to be here again.
Yeah,
My
thanks
pleasure.
for having us.
Thanks.
Up next, Jane King talks with a Long Island, New York-based company that puts a premium on the wealth of your health. That's next on New to the Street.
Welcome back. Now, when you think of indoor environmental wellness, what comes to mind? I bet for most people, it's the outside environment. Well, my next guests are on a relentless pursuit for improving indoor environmental wellness. That's right, on the inside. Let's find out more with Bohemia, New York-based Healthy Habitats. Tomas Niemann is the company's president, and he is joined by Marie Spinelli, an angel investor and also future franchisee of the company. So welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Jane.
So Tomas, let's start with you. Talk to me about what Healthy Habitats is. How did you come up with the concept for the company?
Sure. Well, Healthy Habitats facilitates the pursuit for indoor environmental wellness. People are concerned about the conditions in their home and whether they adversely affect the health and wellness of their families. And there lacks a single comprehensive source that can assess situations, identify problem sources, can implement corrective actions, and then provide ongoing preventative maintenance, as well as quality improvements in the home. That's where Healthy Habitats comes in and fills that void. We help make it healthier and safer to live in your home.
So what exactly are we talking about? Like air quality, maybe mold? I mean, what exactly is it?
Sure. When we think of the environment, we think of outdoor environment, as you mentioned. People are concerned about air pollution, water pollution, ozone layers, and things of that nature. We fail to realize that we spend about 90 to 98% of our time indoors. Now, when we think of the outdoor environment, we've got local, city, state, regulatory organizations and guidelines that help us navigate through that. And we've had that for many, many decades. But who's helping us on the inside? We're basically building these vaults, and we don't have ventilation and fresh air coming in, stale air going out. And then we also look at manufacturing process of things we're bringing into our home. It wasn't long ago you buy a couch or a product and it's made out of wood and cotton and wool and organic material. Now there's a lot of synthetic materials being brought in, and these materials are made out of chemicals that have volatile organic compounds or VOCs in them. And they're off-gassing. I mean, there's mattresses that have foam that off-gasses for years and years. So there's this concern. There's almost a perfect storm where you've got these off-gassing issues in a home through synthetic materials. You've got a vault that you've built, so you don't have the ventilation, and we're spending so much of our time indoors. We wonder why levels of ADHD and autism, why cancers, why respiratory disease, and why these things are on a rise. And indoor environmental wellness is that fourth pillar of wellness, in addition to health, nutrition, and fitness.
Who would you say your typical consumer is?
It's anyone that spends time in a space. Our residential consumer is our core business right now, but we're expanding into other areas, industrial and commercial space as well.
How did you get introduced to Healthy Habitats and believe in it enough to become an investor?
Well, Jane, I come from the environmental field. Health and wellness was something that not only was I interested in, but was a passion of mine. So my husband and I came to a point in our professional careers where we decided we wanted to take control of our own destiny and look into a business opportunity for ourselves. Through networking and mutual acquaintances, we were introduced to Tomas and the Healthy Habitats brand. Our conversations led us down a path where we realized that this brand was something that met all our needs. An industry I was familiar with, a niche that we were passionate in, and an industry that had so much potential growth. We are so happy that we chose to invest in Healthy Habitats. We're active in the corporation, and we've positioned ourselves to be the first franchisees when Healthy Habitats is ready to move forward.
Why do you think that society has put such a premium on outdoor activities versus indoor? It seems like the indoor environment has not gotten as much attention as outdoor.
It's easier to evaluate. You don't have access to homes necessarily. These federal agencies or local state agencies don't have access. It just had a greater appeal. There actually is more interest now in the indoor space. Coincidentally, while we were developing the brand and developing the business, there's been an organization at play developing the WELL standard, which is now at global levels.
So how can someone find out more about Healthy Habitats?
Sure. Well, we have obviously our website, like everybody does, Health eHabitats or BringHealthyHome.com.
Thank you, Tomas Niemann, and also Marie Spinelli, for joining us today and sharing the story of Healthy Habitats. And best of luck to you as you look to grow.
Thank you, Jane.
And up next, Ken Evzeroff and I will have the cheesiest story ever in the history of New to the Street. Cheesy in a good way. Trust me, you'll definitely want to sink your teeth into this one. That's next.
Welcome back. Now, forgive the pun, but our next company is really cheesy. It's their business. Specifically, we're talking about grilled cheese.
That's right, Ken. The Original Grilled Cheese Truck is a California-based company that takes the cheese on the road, so to speak. And they have plans for an even bigger rollout for people who love gourmet grilled cheese, not just in the U.S., but in Europe as well.
That's right, Jane. Now, here to fill us in and hopefully up on the skinny of grilled cheese is Trilogy Capital Chairman and CEO AJ Cervantes. He is joined by David Donahue, the founder and culinary captain of the Grilled Cheese Truck, and Algie Hodges, President and CEO of the Grilled Cheese Truck. Gentlemen, welcome to New to the Street.
AJ, I want to start with you. Let's talk about Trilogy Capital Group. How were you guys founded? What is your relationship with the Grilled Cheese Truck? Why did you decide to invest in this brand?
We're a private equity group. We were here in New York, now based in Miami, and very opportunistic. We look for industries, sectors, products that we think can be, particularly in this case, launched internationally, not just domestically. And I had familiarity with Dave and with the brand and the fact that they'd been hugely successful in California. And numerous awards, and felt that the brand lent itself to a national rollout. And what's happened more recently now, we've just signed an agreement with a group in Europe, and we're actually rolling out the brand in Europe as well.
And what are the different revenue streams available to the Grilled Cheese Truck? What about the margins? What about the overhead?
We're actually launching bricks and mortar, food carts here in Manhattan, kiosk, airports. We're talking to one of the big shopping channels right now about doing it online with them. So we view this as a brand that we're rolling out nationally, multiple sales channels.
AJ, if somebody wants to get involved with the Grilled Cheese Truck, what exactly do they need to do?
One is a potential franchisee. Just gets in touch with us corporately. We're in the process of organizing a Reggae Plus offering, public offering.
And explain to people what Reggae Plus is who are just watching and not familiar.
So Reggae Plus is the next generation of equity financings that are essentially employ a crowdfunding component to them. And we have the ability with Reggae Plus, unlike a traditional IPO, to do very broad advertising, marketing, visibility for that offering.
Now, David, you've been sitting there patiently. I can see you drooling with desire to talk about the cheese, because you are the cheese. You're the man with the plan. You transformed your love of grilled cheese into a really great business. What drives a guy like you for the love of cheese to make a career out of it, and what do you get out of it?
The longest story short is I competed in this grilled cheese competition and realized that there was a subculture of fanatical grilled cheese followers. So,
Algie,
Yes.
in the space of grilled cheese, I mean, not every cheese is created equal. Seriously, it's
Very
not.
true.
I can tell you that from firsthand knowledge. What makes a grilled cheese truck different than everybody else in the space?
It's an incredible job that Dave has done putting together cut above gourmet offerings, the differences in cheeses, 6 different varieties, 3 breads that you can choose from. You can create your own if you like. So it's really taking the basic grilled cheese and making it something that has never done before.
So, David, people wait in line for 2 to 3 hours? Is this true?
I will say I'm very conscious of making sure everybody has a good experience. And the longest wait I've ever seen is we shut the line down. If I see that we're going to run out of food, I want to make sure everybody's got a choice of everything. So I'll shut the line down, and at the end I said to the girls, don't let anybody get behind you. We'll buy you lunch and this and that.
So what makes it so special?
It's all very good, high quality food. I do play with textures and flavors a lot, sometimes getting the eyebrow raised where it's like, what are you doing? But it's grilled cheese to me it's a culinary common denominator.
Next time you're here, I have to have a happy one right here on the table.
I'll make sure it happens. I will absolutely make sure.
Algie, what does a franchise sell for? How do potential franchisees get involved? And talk to me about the different revenue streams.
The franchise fees range from $35,000 down to $15,000. So that's from a truck and a brick and mortar to a cart. And I'll also add that we have a program for veterans that give them a discount to where they can come in, and we're very passionate about them coming in as employees if they'd like to be, or business owners.
What would you say to people who are looking to potentially park their money in the grilled cheese truck?
Well, at the end of day, I'm a capital markets guy, and at the end of day, it's about the product.
Okay, so if somebody wants to know more, how can they find out more?
I think the best place is to go to www.thegrilledcheesetruck.com. When the offerings are launched, there'll actually be information on the website that'll take you to the portal for the Reggae Plus.
Well, I would love for New to the Street to go on the road again and do an entire show inside a grilled cheese truck.
Yes.
We will see you in LA.
Bring an apron.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for joining us here on New to the Street.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks for
so
having me.
much for
Thank you,
joining
guys.
us.
It's terrific.
Yeah.
And if you want to learn more about the grilled cheese truck, you can visit thegrilledcheesetruck.com or newtothestreet.com. And you know, New to the Street can do an entire in-depth show on location at your company.
That's right. For more information, just visit newtothestreet.com, click on Get Me on TV, fill out the information, and one of our representatives will then reach out to you.
It's the best value in television. I'm telling you, you'll see. That's a wrap for this edition of New to the Street. I'm Ken Epsaroff.
And I'm Jane King. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching.